Unexpectedly traveling to parallel Earth, I discovered that I can understand animal language. I accidentally broke into a murder scene and successfully solved a serial murder case. Wait a moment, sir. It's really a case that cats helped solve. What? I've traveled. You are listening at novelfull.audio. My name is Shi Yun, I am a social animal, female, and have a hobby of being handsome. Just now, as I was busy rushing to work, I was hit by a large truck at a crossroads. I thought I would be torn apart and die at the scene, but the pain that had not yet arrived urged me to open my eyes. The unfamiliar environment suddenly stunned me. Hello, welcome to Earth. My name is Xiaolan, it's your system. A voice roared through my head, and I suddenly became energized. System. Isn't this the kind of thing that often happens in novels? It's hard to say that I'm about to have a golden finger, earn him 100 billion, become a rich woman, and reach the pinnacle of my life. I happily prepared to take the golden finger of the system, and a golden light flashed by. Congratulations on gaining the ability to communicate with animals without obstacles, and also a mobile phone. Wishing you a pleasant time in the future. The energy is low, and the person is about to fall asleep. The host is big, remember to recharge me, isn't that right? These are golden fingers. I want to cry but no tears. What kind of animal communication? Can't you give me a more practical one? I laughed angrily, and now it's really speechless to open the door for her mother. Speechless to get home. As a lady, I didn't curse at anyone. As soon as I arrived, I took it easy and began to check what was on my body. Great, I have both my ID card and household registration book, not a black account. Surprisingly, I also found 5 Grandpa Mao cards. Not bad, he won't be living under the overpass tonight. There is no way out, good luck is about to come. Look at this bipedal beast, it's so strange. It hasn't moved for a long time and suddenly goes crazy. Did it have rabies and won't bite me? I followed the sound and didn't see anyone, only a tabby cat meowing. I pretended to be calm and shouted loudly, who's talking? Come out of here. Isn't this a fool? How could there be a bipedal beast in this wilderness? The fox cat barked twice and looked at me disdainfully. I can't really hear the cat talking, can I? I looked at the civet cat and asked with a trembling voice, did you just talk to me? Also, I'm not a fool. The fox cat across from him was taken aback by the licking of its fur and then meowed again. You two-legged beast can actually understand what I'm saying. Pretty good, pretty smart. It seems like you're not a fool either. Hua hua, come and socialize. Here we go little sister, good duck, my name is Hua Hua. That was our boss just now, it's called Huyi. Little sister, don't take it seriously. A beautiful 3 flowers meowed and came to my lap, rubbing against it twice. Hello Hua Hua, I would like to ask, where is this place? How can I get out? I touched Xiao Hua Hua's head and looked at her adorable little flower. My mood unconsciously improved. This is near the garbage dump in City A. If you want to go out, you may need to walk for a while. Hua Hua looked at me and wagged her tail, gesturing for me to follow. I followed behind the flowers, walked a distance, and arrived at a crowded place. Wait for me here, I said. I ran to the grocery store and bought an oversized ham. Thank you for leading me, this is your tip. I opened the ham and handed it to Hua Hua. When Hua Hua saw the ham, she first said, thank you, and then shouted, husband, come and eat. The civet cat hidden in the nearby grass ran out and said thank you before starting to eat the ham. Watching the 2 little ones eating, the sky was getting dark unconsciously, and I should find a place to rest. I found a hotel, rented the cheapest room, and started organizing the information I received today. I quickly realized that this is a parallel time and space. The currency, animals, and environment are all the same as where I used to live. The only difference is that under economic conditions, any animal can apply for adoption. I looked at my few $100s left and lay in bed thinking about what to do in the future. Before I knew it, I fell asleep. Nervous Cow Cat. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, as soon as I walked out of the hotel, I saw a cow cat lying on the side as if it had been hit by a car, with mottled blood on its body. I hurriedly went over to find a box, carefully placed it inside, and then ran towards the nearest pet hospital. The doctor began to examine the cow cat, and after touching the kitten's belly, I seemed to see the cow cat move. There's no problem, it could be sleeping. Is it really okay? Why does it still have blood on its body? I asked anxiously when I saw the bloodstains on the cow and cat's body. That's not its own blood, maybe it won a fight with other cats, and other cats splashed it. The cow cat stopped pretending when it heard this sentence, just flipped over and started shouting loudly. They were doing morning exercises, but they just slept because they were too tired. Wake up, there shouldn't be any problem. Check if there are any uncomfortable movements afterwards, and if there are, check again. As soon as the doctor finished speaking, he saw the cow and cat catapult off, jumping, rotating, twisting and running around the table in an abnormal cat running posture, then flipping and landing steadily. I exchanged a glance with the doctor and saw helplessness and sadness in our eyes. Undoubtedly, it is a well-known cow cat. In the end, I had no choice but to feed it first to calm it down, and then take it to take a bath. After all, it was really dirty. I had already planned before taking a shower that it would be in a state of desperate resistance. After all, no cat is not afraid of water. No one expected that this cow cat's cat would not resist at all when taking a bath, just shouting, "I love taking a bath, my skin is good, meow 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 meow. I smell so fragrant that I feel dizzy." Then the cow and cat paused for a while until they saw a handsome man coming to bathe him, barking shyly, "Oh my, handsome man, are you here to wash someone's body? After washing someone's body, they are your cat." No, this handsome guy, isn't he empty? I don't feel comfortable washing it at all, it's not as good as the little sister just now, TSK. Then I watched a cow rubbing itself in a bath. I couldn't help but take out my phone and start recording videos for it. Have you never seen a cat that washes itself before? I just posted it online, hee 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 hee. Isn't this just a traffic password? The handsome guy has left, hurry up and wash yourself. Don't sing anymore. Singing makes my brain ache. I looked at the cat singing while taking a shower and reminded out loud. Two-legged beast, you can actually understand what I'm saying. Maybe it's because I'm too beautiful, you went and learned animal language for me. The cow cat twisted its waist and then began to moan, although they don't hate cross-species love, they prefer little brothers. I could tell a hint of shyness from the tone of a cow cat. Sometimes I feel like calling the police. I can only say that I am truly a neurotic cow cat. After the cat finished taking a bath, I went to settle her account, bought another bag of cat food, and left with it. Let me give you a name, what do you want to call yourself? I looked at the cat and asked seriously. Why don't you call me a fool? That's how those people call me. The kitten looked happy. I looked at the kitten and suddenly realized that it was too ugly. It had bangs, small eyes, and everything else was white. I looked at its wise expression and laughed out loud, why don't we call you Eyebrows together in the future? The cow cat shouted discontentedly, ha, how nice the two fools are. Look at it. It's 3 words, you give me a 2-word name. How could such a name deserve my noble status? I was suddenly speechless, and the cow cat next to me kept talking, I see you're not very smart, you two-legged beast. I'll just start on my own. What's the name of the one I eavesdropped on before? Steward Long Outyen, Young Master Wong Boer. I want to call it Wong Boer. I had no choice but to follow its advice and named it Wong Boer. I cried, it was really happy to death. Every time I called Wang Boer, the cow and cat would roar loudly, and then I saw the skill of flying eaves and walls again. Wang Boer suddenly jumped up over a meter high, then twisted her front paws in mid-air and landed, then kicked against the wall and flew out, spinning 360 degrees in mid-air and landing steadily. The key is that after it falls, it still shouts, "I'm really cool." I stood on the side and felt a strong desire to die. Sure enough, raising a cow-cat requires great courage. What I didn't expect was that someone actually filmed this scene and posted it online. The nerves of the cow and cat, along with my expression of wanting to die, made it on the hot search list within a day. As one of the main characters, I was unaware of it until I found another hotel that allowed pets to stay. Woo 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 woo, my old face has been ruined by Wang Boer. Pet communicator. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I looked at myself without a word, and suddenly remembered the popular pet communicator online. I thought I could give it a try. That's how animal language talent should be used, right? I took out my phone and started a live broadcast. The room was called Pet Communication Engineer, and soon the first newcomer arrived. "Hello, hello, do you have any pets that need to be communicated with?" Before he could finish speaking, the person who had just entered the live broadcast room suddenly retreated, followed by a large influx of people into the room. "Anchor, can you take a look at the cat on today's hot search?" "Anchor, are cows and cats really very nervous?" "Anchor, can you call out the cat today?" I looked at the barrage and shouted, "Wang Boer," and when the cow and cat came out, the barrage burst into laughter. Taking advantage of this wave of heat, pet communicator, all animals are welcome, 500 yuan per visit, you can pay after viewing. As soon as this statement was made, the live broadcast room became boiling. Beautiful anchors are not scammers, are they? It looks so beautiful, I'll give you 10,000 if you dance. What's wrong with the anchor? You have to cheat money here, I can't dance, you can give it a try if you don't believe me. The people in the live broadcast room looked at the high price of 500 yuan and felt that it was a bit expensive, until a big brother said to try it for them and clicked on the connection. "Hello, may I take a look at your pet?" I asked politely, adhering to professional ethics. "I don't have anything to ask, just help me take a look, little kitten, come over." The voice across from me was pleasant, and there was no appearance, only a husky dog head. Husky started yelling at me as soon as he saw me on the screen, "Beautiful woman, hello. Hello, is there anything you want to say to your master? I can help you relay it to you." Upon hearing me say this, the live broadcast room began to curse again. "Anchor, is this a scam? Yo yo yo, proficient in dog language. Is this a character setting? I won't even support the wall, so I'll convince you. It's just hype, isn't it?" The dog immediately started barking when it heard me say these words. There are too many. I don't want to call myself little kitten. Every time my owner calls me little kitten, I lose face when I go out. Also, I don't want to eat this dog food, which is too bad and has a strange smell inside. By the way, last time the owner brought a little sister back, the little sister had a big argument with the owner's mother. The owner's mother even slapped the food on her head and then poured it down on her own. I transferred the conversation to the host in the video without any changes. The person across from me was shocked and quickly went over to touch the dog food bag, only to find many small holes on it. "I'll go, someone broke the dog food bag. I remember there was a case of poisoning the dog food before, so it shouldn't have been poisoned. I used to think my little dog liked to be called a kitten by me, but it actually annoyed me." Thinking about the last thing I said, he called his girlfriend directly and asked for the reason. He apologized, "I talked to this girl before, but my mother never agreed. I didn't expect her to use such a means, and this time I won't compromise with her. I moved out. Thank you, the anchor. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't know the truth now." The boy across from me had a slightly crying voice and then hung up the connection. Then there are 10 carnivals brushing on the screen. Can't this be a script? How could anyone possibly understand how small animals speak? It's fake. 10 carnivals, hey, are you so good at finding excuses? I don't think it's very similar. I don't really have the ability, do I? I ignored those black fans and continued to wait in the live broadcast room for the next person to connect. The next connection came soon, and a gentle voice from a little sister said, "My dog has been barking wildly at a place lately. I went to the hospital for a check-up, but I didn't find any illness. What's going on? Master, there's a stranger in that place. He's been peeking at you for a few days." Miss Bomai, who was in her arms, started calling out to the wardrobe again. "Little sister, do you have headphones? Your dog's voice is too loud, I can't hear you clearly." I suppressed my surprise and said calmly to the little sister. Miss, upon hearing this, quickly took out Bluetooth earphones from her bag and put them on. At this point, the barrage had already gone crazy. "I didn't misread it just now, there seems to be someone inside that cabinet. I lost it, don't say anything. I just saw it, it's so scary. Little sister, run quickly. I have already called the police. This little sister lives near my house." I calmed my expression and said to the little sister, "I'll tell you something later. Don't get excited yet. If you get excited, you might be in danger of your life if you're caught. Your dog is not sick, and there are outsiders in your house who are hiding in the wardrobe now. Does your dog often bark at the wardrobe and under the bed these days?" Miss panicked for a second and forced herself to remain calm, saying, "Yes." "Don't panic first, listen to me. As usual, take your dog down for a walk, and then lock the door directly when you go out. Remember not to take out the key at the end." Miss followed my instructions and immediately locked the door after leaving. Just as she was about to speak, I interrupted her. "Don't talk yet, listen to any movement in your house." The little sister trembled with fear when she heard the door in the room shut with a bang. Thanks to the netizens' report, the police quickly arrived. After Miss helped the police open the door, the house seemed empty. "Master, there's someone under the bed." The little dog barked fiercely at the bottom of the bed. I told the police that it was under the bed in the bedroom, and in no time, the police pulled out a man in a suit and leather shoes from under the bed. The police looked at the person's face and saw that it was not Lu Yulong, the A-level fugitive they were pursuing. "You're quite lucky this time. This person has already killed 3 people. This time, they sneaked into your house, probably to attack you." The police glanced at the nearby phone and found that it was live streaming. The little sister quickly explained, "This is a pet communicator who told me there was someone under the bed." The police officer looked at me on his phone and said, "Hello, I need you to take an interview with the Public Security Bureau regarding the whereabouts of the fugitive you discovered this time." I went back to good, then cut off the live broadcast and went to the police station. "How did you know there was someone under the bed?" The police asked me as usual. I answered truthfully, "Her pet told me." Please don't use this kind of answer to evade the question. The oral statement you are making now has legal effect. It's really what her pet told me. The police couldn't say anything, and because I had just made a big contribution, they let me go. I look innocent, why is it that no one believes me when I tell the truth? The police gave me a prize of 10,000 yuan and a business card, which was given by you to help catch the fugitive. Also, if there is anything I need to do after I call, you can call me. After saying thank you, I returned to the hotel and started the live broadcast. The police acted quickly and immediately posted a notice online, saying, "With the help of enthusiastic citizens, we have successfully caught A-level fugitive Lu Yulong in Haitang community. We hereby issue a bonus of 10,000 yuan as a gesture of commendation." After being verified by the police, I quickly became popular and a large number of people entered my live broadcast room. Then I met a strange guy, "Anchor, my cat has fallen in love with another cat online, what should I do?" Hua Hua sang, without chatting for a day, lost in thought. "Master, why did you separate us? Why couldn't you let us meet?" The nearby puppet shouted with a heart-wrenching expression. The owner of the video held down its mouth and said, "Stop making noise, you've been shouting all day. I can help you communicate with your host. Is there anything you want to say to me? Is it true or not?" The first time I met Xiaohua was on the windowsill. It was the first time I heard his voice, and I felt like I fell in love with him. Love comes regardless of its lowliness or order. My master said he is a stray cat and he doesn't want me to be with him. I am in so much pain. Can you help me persuade my master? The little puppet looked at me pleadingly, tears welling up. It's like this, your cat is with the cat outside, and then they communicate through language and fall in love with each other. I thought for a moment and then proposed a solution. If you don't mind, you can let that cat see it. I believe the cat outside will see it and leave. The owner was half believing and half doubting, and after letting the cat see the other side, the 3 flowers outside the window left. The little puppet looked sad and said, "Why did you leave me, little flower?" I explained to the audience, the reason is very simple. Sanhua is a beautiful woman in the cat world, and in his eyes, the puppet is a fat and ugly mansion. When he sees it, he is scared away. Puppet. My premature love afterwards, several normal issues related to pet food and accommodation were resolved and broadcasted. Saving the Northeast Tiger. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I think it's just the balance on my phone, it's really good. There's no need to stay under the overpass. After feeding Wang Bo, I lay down and fell asleep. Little did I know that there was a bigger surprise waiting for me. I saw the hotel in a mess and immediately discovered the culprit. I'm going, but Wang Bo actually brought back a little tiger. I dare not raise this thing. What if I bite to death then? Cat, where did you find it? It won't bite me, will it? I looked at Wang Bo with a flattering expression on my face. Wang Bo lifted her chest with a proud expression. This is my new little brother I recognized last night. I picked it up from the grass in the park. I was shocked. Isn't it so easy to pick up Northeast tigers in this world? Can I keep one? Well, forget it, I'm afraid I'll get into its belly one morning when I wake up. I looked like a Northeast tiger, and a weak hello came to me. The Northeast tiger seemed to feel my gaze, and when it looked at me, I instantly felt my scalp tingling. Then the Northeast tiger pounced on me and said, "Sister, stick it." Oh, isn't that what I remember as the Northeast tiger? I look at the Northeast tiger, isn't this a pure cub? Looking at the Northeast tiger with 0 attack power, I fell into contemplation. I remember that the mother tiger should usually be around the little Northeast tiger, right? So why is it outside this time? Feeling something was wrong, I immediately called Officer Tang Yi, who handed me the phone yesterday, and said, "Officer Tang, I have a Northeast tiger here. Can you call a rescue team? It seems that he hasn't weaned yet and there are some wounds on his body. I am currently in room 302 of the Rose Hotel." In less than half an hour, Officer Tang and the rescue team arrived. "Excuse me, where did you find this Northeast tiger?" According to our preliminary inspection, this is the batch that was previously abducted by kidnappers at a city zoo. Tang, the police officer, looked serious. A pair of criminals robbed animals in the zoo before, and there were dozens of first-class protected animals inside, most of which were brightly colored birds. We have been tracking them for more than 10 days without any clues. I'm not quite sure, this was brought back by my cat, but I can help you ask. Officer Tang looked incredulous, as he had received a higher education in science and society and never believed in anything mystical. I looked at the little Northeast tiger and said, "Hello, we want to help your mother. I want to ask where you come from." I don't know if the words, "Mom," touched it, but it suddenly roared. My mom fell to the ground and couldn't get up. I had no choice but to run and find someone to save her. Woo-woo. I don't know where it is, there are many trees that grow very high there. I ran for a long time to get here. I told Officer Tang what Little Northeast Tiger said, and Officer Tang was skeptical, but suddenly something came to his mind. The province I am currently in is relatively poor, with many remote small mountain villages. Every year, people smuggle animals from our territory, but we can't find any trace. Is it possible that they have set up a stronghold in the small mountain village? Thank you for your cooperation. Officer Tang shook my hand and ran out anxiously. Generally, animals that are smuggled out may have good-looking fur turned into ordinary smuggled-out animals, good-looking fur turned into fur, and bad fur turned into bones and other items sold. Birds are usually plucked from their feathers and used as decorations. I found Officer Tang, who was about to leave, and spoke sincerely. I am a pet communicator. I can communicate with animals, but I know you may not trust me. Can I help you search for animals together? Officer Tang rejected me outright. He couldn't take my personal safety as a gamble. After all, they encountered kidnappers with live ammunition. There's no way, then I can only secretly investigate on my own. I came to a small mountain village closest to the appearance of the little tiger and asked Wang Bo to help me gather a large group of animals of all kinds. I now need clues from the person who kidnapped the zoo animals before. Whoever has reliable clues, I will reward him with a delicious meal. As soon as the animals listened, they began to communicate. Is it really fake? He won't deceive us, will he? Why don't you give it a try? Anyway, it's not going to happen. I know, said an orange cat cautiously. I saw 2 large trucks heading in that direction before, and I seemed to hear a cry for help. I took out the pre-prepared jars and fed them to it, thank you. What I said today is valid until I find the animal. You can ask Wang Boer to tell me. The transmission speed among animals was very fast, and soon I received definite news. A tabby cat walked over and said, I know where they are. They are in Lihua village. I found them while hunting at night. The tabby cat gave me a white feather. I quickly took out cans and fed them to the civet cat, and then went to find rescue personnel. Can you quickly check if these are the feathers of those rare animals that have been stolen? After the rescue personnel quickly completed the identification, they gave me a positive reply that it was the feathers of the crested ibis, which happened to be one of the animals that had been robbed earlier. They immediately notified Officer Tang Yi. You said you know where that animal is. Is that true? Is the news reliable? I looked at the excited Officer Tang and said, these are what the little animals told me. They are now in Lihua village. Officer Tang is very familiar with Lihua village. The people in this village are very united and exclusive, and have developed very quickly in recent years. They visited this village before, but got nothing. Are you really sure where they are? Officer Tang asked seriously again. I solemnly answered yes. Then I took the car to the vicinity of Lihua village, and the rest of the journey required us to walk over to prevent any disturbance. When I arrived around the village, it was getting a bit dark. I called Wang Boer and said, there are dozens of animals trapped in this village now. I need your help to investigate the situation in this village and the location where the animals are being kept. But it may be a bit dangerous. Would you be willing to do so? Wang Boer hesitated, and I probably guessed it already. If you're not willing, just let it go. Before he could finish speaking, Wang Bo called out again, I'm not doing well, right? You know, that jar and cat strips are very fragrant, right? Speaking of which, I understand, it's just craving. After I promised him 10 cans and a whole box of cat strips, he set off with a miniature camera. It swaggered in and then stood up one by one, hiding in the late night. Wang Boer began to search one room after another, but did not find any person or animal. Suddenly, Wang Boer seemed to hear some movement and immediately ran towards the back mountain. I don't know if I don't go, but I'm scared when I go. There are densely packed people standing in the back mountain temple, some seem to be moving cages, while others seem to be handling animals. Don't kill my wife. Let go of the child, it's still young. Please, please. Please, let go of our family. Animals also know what they're saying, humans can't understand, but they keep praying, hoping that humans won't kill them. Animals cannot speak, but they also have life. I have never been so angry before. Can some people be so evil? Officer Tang immediately applied to the special forces to help capture. The net of heaven is vast, sparse yet not leaking. After the efforts of the police all night, all the people in the back mountain were caught. Not only that, but also a criminal list was discovered, which detailed the participants and the animals killed. I saw animals covered in injuries and couldn't help but shed tears. Sorry, I'm late. In an instant, I didn't know how to comfort them, so my ability to communicate with animals is to help me save more animals. I looked at the many little dogs in the cage behind me and said, these are not protected animals by the country. What will happen in the future? The rescuers glanced at me and said, take it to the homeless animal shelter. If there are too many, it may end up on the streets. I couldn't bear to see that their lives after being rescued were harder than before, and it was also to allow certain animals to enjoy their later years. That night, I made a huge decision to adopt them all. Returning to the small countryside. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. I haven't slept all night. It's not very allowed to raise so many animals in the city, so I decided to go to the countryside to raise them. Ding, sensing the host's thoughts, I am giving away a rural villa with 100 acres of land. I was startled by the sudden sound in my mind. This can't be my system, can it? I quickly asked if the system was awake, and then there was no sound in my mind. Immediately after, a property certificate suddenly appeared in my hand. I opened it and saw, oh my goodness, why am I so familiar with this place? This is not the place where I was just reborn. It is indeed remote, but it is also suitable for so many animals to live in. I promised him double the price of a deity before he was willing to take me. After driving for 2 hours, I finally arrived at the destination. At first glance, there was a very exquisite villa with several enclosed pigsties behind it. At the second glance, there was no furniture inside. Third glance, isn't it? Why aren't there any households around? Although quietness is a bit quieter, isn't it just right for me as a pet owner? On that day, I went to the mall to purchase some temporary furniture, and then went to the police station to apply for the adoption of those stray animals. The police, considering my financial ability, granted me 5 dogs. I took them to a pet store and bathed them first. I also bought some cat and dog food and left their phone number for them to deliver to their doorstep. After returning home, I looked at the small animals in front of me and decided to give them names first. Hello, my name is Shiryun. We will become partners in the future. What would you like to call me? Perhaps they have been subjected to human abuse before and remain silent. At this moment, Wang Boer walked over and said, you don't have to be afraid. My master won't harm you. From now on, we will be a family. After a long time, the strongest Chinese pastoral dog inside spoke and said, are you really not going to hurt us? No, if I hurt you, you can leave at any time. Okay, then I'll trust you for the last time. The rhubarb made up its mind and knew that if they didn't accept it, it was very likely that they would live a life of hunger, so it was better to take a gamble. Do you want to name yourself, or should I give you a name? As a good host, I want to respect their opinions. You can start for us, one of us was caught and it has a name. The Chinese pastoral dog looked at the Labrador next to it and gestured for it to take a step forward. My name is Duo, and I don't want to change my name. I believe my master has been looking for me, said Labrador with a longing for home in his eyes. Okay, then you'll also be called Duo in the future, and I'll help you find your family online. I looked at the remaining dog, the yellow Chinese pastoral dog called Dahuang, the one with some black spots in its white fur called Spots, the one all black called Black Panther, and the one with a snow-white body called White Snow. In the future, I will teach you some ways to survive and handle things in human society every day, but I need you to help me with some simple tasks every day. For these tasks, I will reward you with extra rewards. Is that okay? The dogs all spoke in unison and thought it was okay. Set it up for the dogs. Good afternoon, I started a live stream for a while. Here are some extra snacks. After all, there is really no money left now. The balance in WeChat is constantly telling me how poor I am. Dogs farming. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Duo, do you still remember where your home is? I don't know, I remember my home is in the city, and it snows every year. There's no way, the scope is too broad. I can only post some background and photos about Duo online first, hoping that netizens can help find them. I looked at the over 100 acres of land at the door. Planting food was unlikely and I couldn't get busy. But growing fruits seems to be okay, not so busy, and there are helpers. Once the decision was made, I started working. I first divided out about 3 acres of land and sought advice online. After learning about the local climate, I decided to plant strawberries and try the water first. I directly placed an order for strawberry seeds online and then came to the dog house, saying, I may need your help to hoe the field today. Digging the ground. Such a simple job, exclaimed the dogs. Yeah, you can help me with that grass, and finally help me pull the greenhouse. The dogs looked at each other and said, Boss, this is different from what you said yesterday. Didn't you say he would hit us? Spotted asked secretly, and Dahuang slapped him directly with his dog paw. I can't help but be defensive. Alright, you shut up. At this moment, the rhubarb wanted to find a burrow and speak ill in front of the main owner, which made him extremely embarrassed. Dogs also need dignity. I smiled without saying a word, then led the dogs to the picturesque ground and said, Today, let's start with this little bit of land. We don't need to finish it all in a day, we can do as much as we can. We'll add jars for you tonight. Then I saw the dogs running away, watching Spotted continue to bite the grass with his mouth, and the other dogs forming teams and pairs, completely ignoring Spotted, this silly dog. I couldn't bear it anymore, so I laughed and said, Spot, you can dig it out with your paws, you don't have to bite it, do you? The Spot paused for a moment, then half dug and half bit, leaving a disheveled face. I found it funny and quietly opened the live broadcast, and today's title was, Not Connected Today, Let's Show You My Dogs Accompanying Me in Farming. In less than a minute, nearly 10,000 spectators rushed in. I put my phone on a shelf and then left it unattended. Anchor, I'll come first. I've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. According to my certification, the anchor did not have a beautiful appearance, and even with a bare face, it looks so beautiful. I love it. The anchor is not available today. Let's take a look at the room names in the front. Viewers looking at the mountains, forests, and fields behind the anchor. Can't it really be a live broadcast of farming? When did the audience in the live broadcast room see such a live broadcast method? They were all shocked one by one. Is this a new routine? Are you ready to start changing lines and bringing goods? Slowly, the people in the live broadcast realized that the anchor was really working, and there were 5 dogs next to him who were digging hard, and the speed was not slower than the anchor's. Not everyone else invites people to work, why does it invite dogs to work? This is the despicable capitalist who tricked cute dogs into working. The number of people in the live broadcast room will increase and decrease. They found that these dogs are very smart, paired with a big dog and a small dog. The big dog is responsible for digging the soil, and the small dog is responsible for throwing grass on the field ridge, which is very reasonable. But the only unreasonable one is the spotted dog. At first, the audience in the live broadcast room thought that this dog was isolated. After watching for a while, they realized that the other dogs were isolated by this dog. Other dogs know that they need to loosen the soil before pulling out the grass, but the spots are different. They first pull out the soil, then find it hard to pull, and then continue pulling. Finally, they have no choice but to start digging the soil. Overall, there is no cleverness, only brute force. It also has a unique way of digging. While other dogs dig it deep in one place and then pull it out, it chooses to start from all around. When other dogs dig 4 plants, he digs 1 plant. After pulling out the spots for a long time, I looked up and found that I was actually the slowest one, with a bewildered expression on my face. Netizens saw its silly little expression and praised its foolishness and cuteness. Some even threw a lot of money into it, which made those dancing female anchors feel embarrassed. This spotted dog is just a divine dog. How about it stop working so well? To see the performance of high IQ and low IQ, please refer to VCR. After this battle, Spot successfully became popular online, and his photo of pulling grass was turned into an emoji by netizens. Wang Bo came to inspect and saw us working. He nodded arrogantly and said, "As a servant of my cat, I work very seriously, not bad." Just as he was about to go back to sleep, he saw the Spot's naughty operation. Then Wang Bo's eyes were filled with contempt, and he walked over directly and slapped it. "No, what are you doing? Can you pull it out like this?" Looking at the Spot's clear eyes, it quieted down for a few seconds. "Come, follow me. First dig the soil." Spotted still looked at it, motionless, and then licked it up. Wang Bo slapped it directly and made it calm down. "What are you licking me for? Hurry up and dig for me. Dig for me." Wang Bo shouted loudly, and the Spots were frightened, digging for the soil. Unexpectedly, he exerted too much force and scraped the soil onto Wang Bo's face. Wang Bo fell silent. He really didn't know how to describe the intelligence of this dog. After digging the spot for a while, you can pull it out at this time. Wang Bo had already wanted to escape, it was too foolish. Wang Bo's inner OS. Is it a punishment from heaven for my intelligence when I meet such a foolish teammate? No, I don't accept it. Spotted easily pulled up the plant and said, "Wow, you're amazing. I want to learn from you. Why are you so smart? I want to worship you as my teacher." Wang Bo couldn't stop feeling disgusted in his eyes. After teaching it, he ignored it and left, fearing that he might fall for it. The audience laughed to death when they saw this scene. "Oh, so the little cat also has troubles. Kitty. It's really stupid. I've never seen such a stupid creature before. This cat looks so unique. It has a unique eyebrow. I haven't worked for too long, and after a while, I'm exhausted. I'm really weak, so I've decided to take a break for a while." Take out the water cup and snacks prepared for the dogs in advance from the bag to replenish their energy. After working hard for a while, they should be exhausted. I took my phone and found that the number of people did not decrease, but rather increased. Taking this opportunity, I decided to help Duo find his family. Duo, come over." A Labrador rushed into the camera, coughing and exerting too much force to push its nose onto the camera. This is Duo, a little girl who was saved before. She is 3 years old and used to live in the north. Her previous home had a father, a mother, and an older sister. Let me help her find her family. There is a private message from the background that she recognizes. After the introduction, I was about to take a break when I noticed that the bushes were moving. In the wilderness, there are no homes around here, so what kind of small animals are they? I'm a bit scared. After all, I haven't communicated with any beasts yet. Make an appointment with the rabbit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I am just a downloader, ready to explore the truth. I quietly walked over and opened the grass to take a look. There are no wild beasts. It turned out to be a little rabbit. Hello. The rabbit ran away before I could touch it. De Huang immediately chased after him, and in less than 5 minutes, he came back with a rabbit in his hand. I couldn't help but laugh and cry, then picked up the rabbit and touched my head. "Don't be afraid, I won't hurt you. Are you the one who used to live here?" The little rabbit's body couldn't help but tremble, even its tone trembling. "Really, I'm just here to stroll. Can you let me go?" I took out a piece of corn that I had prepared for myself from my bag and gave it a little bit. "Here it is, you can eat it and leave," I said. After eating a little bit, the little rabbit's eyes lit up and he said, I've never eaten anything so delicious before. Can I have some more?" I broke up a bit more this time. After the little rabbit had eaten enough, it ran away, but halfway through, it turned back to look at us and said, "Thank you for your hospitality. Next time you come to my house, I will also entertain you." What a polite little rabbit. Oh, I really want to keep one. Considering that digging soil every day may cause some harm to dogs, I have implemented a rotation system for them. We quickly sorted out the fields. I have also received the seeds for online shopping and am preparing to set up a greenhouse to plant strawberries. I directly hired 2 skilled workers to help me with the greenhouse, which still requires some technical expertise. After finishing, I divided the dogs into 3 small teams. 2 dogs helped me bury the soil. I was responsible for planting seeds, 1 dog was responsible for delivering seeds, and 2 dogs were responsible for using footprints to press the pit for me. I have once again started the live broadcast, named Not Connected. Dogs are growing strawberries. Unexpectedly, as before, a large number of people came in. "Anchor, what about Spots? What is it doing today? Let's start planting strawberries today. Looking forward to it. When it's ripe, I'll eat it first. The dogs are so good, they want to touch their heads." I started planting strawberries without saying a word, just like before. Then netizens saw 2 dogs stepping on footprints in front of me, and I threw the seeds in. The dogs behind me buried them, and there was also a dog next to me carrying the seeds. Today's Spots are finally not as neurotic as before, they are honestly stepping on the pit in front. Netizens looked at the appearance of the Spots and exclaimed that their children have grown up and will not be hindered by their work. It's great. Even the spotted mother pouter sent him a big rocket. In a few days, the performance of the dogs has conquered many netizens, and each dog has at least 1 or 2,000 fans. Of course, the most common ones are still Spots. After all, they are just too eye-catching. Netizens have seen the dogs quickly and with quality broadcasting, and it's no wonder. If there are no pets at home, praise them hard. If you have pets at home, pull them out and compare them, and then scold them. Unconsciously, the status of pets has declined significantly. Even for a long period of time, pets were cursing the person who lowered their status. After planting strawberries, the previous rabbit came again. After spending these days together, the rabbit has become familiar with us, and because I occasionally feed the rabbit some small snacks, its liking for me has doubled. Coincidentally, I've been here for so long and haven't gone to the nearby mountains for a stroll yet. Isn't this tour guide here? Hello, are you free tomorrow? Can you take us to the mountains for a stroll? The little rabbit agreed directly, okay. I took out the carefully prepared carrots for the little rabbit this time, quickly fed him enough, and made an appointment with him to meet here tomorrow and then broadcast them back home. When I got home this time, I didn't stop. I took out the small basket I bought online a few days ago and made a small backpack for the little dog with some fabric. Then each dog was asked to try out the size and customize it for them. Depending on their body shape, the size of the backpack also varies, in order to help the dog better. After a while of live streaming at night, I fell into a deep sleep. In a daze, I heard someone calling me, but before I could see anyone, I woke up. The next day, as scheduled, I arrived at the place where the little rabbit was already waiting for us. Because we were not sure what we would encounter when going up the mountain, we only carried 3 backpacks this time, the dog carried 2, and I carried 1. I drove the live broadcast and let the little rabbit lead the way. On the way up the mountain, I saw many wild fruits. I picked some and put them in my backpack, while also educating netizens on science. This is the sour vine, which bears 3 fruits a year and ripens in January, June, and December each year. It is sour and sweet. A few more steps forward, I found many wild apple trees. I picked one casually and tasted it. The apple was a bit ugly, but it was actually quite delicious. This should be familiar to everyone. This is an apple tree. I picked some and put them in my basket, continuing to walk forward. Then I found wild strawberries everywhere. He is very small, but red and very likable. I really enjoy eating this, so I just started the live food broadcast. I take small strawberries one by one. I specifically bit open a relatively large strawberry, which has a solid red color inside. At first glance, it feels sweet and juicy. After finishing my meal, I picked a big wave and put it in the dog's basket. I never expected to encounter strawberries here again. Netizens were greedy and roared inside the barrage. "Anchor, can these wild fruits be put on the shelves? I'm starving, please give me a puff." Who understands? The tomatoes on sticks in his hands suddenly went out of flavor. I looked at the barrage and said, "Put it on the shelf. Fruits can easily spoil, right? I'll consider it these days." I followed the little rabbit up a distance and found that this mountain forest was simply a treasure, with various fruits and even a bamboo forest. But because I didn't bring any tools to dig bamboo shoots before I left today, I plan to wait a few days before digging bamboo shoots again. The netizens in the live broadcast room can't sit still. "Anchor, this bamboo shoot is delicious at first glance. Can you put it on our shelves? You said fruits are not easy to transport and can easily break." I agree, but bamboo shoots, you can't say it, can you? Please ask the anchor to list it plus 10,086. I thought about it for a moment, and this proposal is also acceptable. Tomorrow I will dig bamboo shoots for you, but it's the first time and we didn't send much. I'll try it out first to see if it's possible. Netizens breathed a sigh of relief when they saw my agreement. After all, I haven't tasted the pure natural bamboo shoots in the mountains for a long time, and now shun no longer has the same taste as before. I still remember that taste when I was a child. After wandering for a while, I decided to go down the mountain first and talk about digging bamboo shoots tomorrow. Beat bamboo shoots, beat bamboo shoots. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I pondered all night and decided to live stream sales. The next day, I put backpacks on the dogs and let them go up the mountain with me. I came to the place in the bamboo forest yesterday and turned on the live broadcast. "Didn't you say you wanted to eat bamboo shoots yesterday? Then I will make some winter bamboo shoots for everyone today, but not too many. Then I will send them to 30 people, each weighing 1 pound. But I may have to pay for the postage myself, and I'm a bit poor." After obtaining the consent of the netizens in the live broadcast room, I started digging winter bamboo shoots. Digging winter bamboo shoots is an IQ job, and it's important to determine its location. Fortunately, I grew up in a rural area when I was young, and I have a unique understanding of digging winter bamboo shoots. Almost every time a hoe goes down, there won't be enough time. The anchor's skill is so strong. He hasn't been digging for a few years, so he wouldn't be like this at all. My internet princess is so capable. The backpack on that little dog is so novel, I haven't seen it before in my experience. I cannot find all the big and fat winter bamboo shoots. After all, they are under the soil and haven't arched yet. De Juan smelled the winter bamboo shoots and then walked to a flat place to sit down. "There is one here." I turned my eyes and the dog pointed to a flat place. "Okay, I'll dig right away." I just came over with 2 hoes when I saw a super large winter bamboo shoot. Wow, you're amazing too. I rubbed the head of Dahuang's dog and then gave it a kiss. I don't know if Rhubarb was shy, but then it started crazily helping me find winter bamboo shoots. He is truly a Chinese pastoral dog raised by his ancestors. This IQ is impressive. I just asked my rascal, and he said he doesn't know. Where can I buy such a dog? It's quite urgent to wait online with the help of my dog. I quickly dug a lot and piled it up into a small mountain. Everyone has come, I also need to go take a stroll. By the way, go to the bamboo forest to see if there are any other things. This season is when some mushrooms grow wildly. Sure enough, there were many treasures in the mountains, and soon I discovered a lot of morel mushrooms. I frantically put them all in the dog's small backpack. Anchor, why are you eating everything? Are you not afraid of this being toxic? Anchor, this thing is too much for you to grasp, let me do it. I am willing to test the poison for you. I looked at the barrage and said, this is morel mushroom. It tastes delicious when stir-fried. Before I could finish picking, I heard Bai Shui shouting frantically, Yun Yun, there are so many white things here, come on, come on. I went over and saw that I lost a lot of bamboo fungus. This can sell for a lot of money. Netizens who were already envious have become even more envious now, shouting for the anchor. Where are you on the mountain? I'll do it. Many bamboo shoots nowadays are grown and have long lost their previous flavor. Wild ones are sold very expensive, costing hundreds per kilogram. I sorted out these bamboo shoots and stuffed them into the little dog's backpack after dividing them into 2 and 3. I searched for it for a while again and found some black fungus. I picked it. Black truffles, picked. Chicken oil mushroom, picked. Oh my, it's really good. I've gained a lot and can't finish it. I can also sell it for some money. I walked slowly back with my dog, and then found the place where the bamboo shoots were placed. I saw a black and white dumpling stealing bamboo shoots. Pandas. There are actually pandas here. After so long, I learned online that many animals in our country are on the brink of extinction, and the number of pandas is already less than 50. Netizens exploded and attacked the Animal Management Bureau. At first, the number of private messages from the Animal Management Bureau skyrocketed, and he didn't feel anything until he entered my live broadcast room and saw a little panda. The Animal Management Bureau also exploded. Animal Management Bureau. Hello, may I ask where you are? We're coming soon. I found out about the little panda during the live broadcast, which directly topped the hot search, even surpassing the popular actress. Hashtag wildlife panda, hashtag at Animal Management Bureau, hashtag giant panda returns to the world, hashtag my live broadcast room suddenly flooded with a large number of people due to hot searches. But I didn't look at my phone, let alone know what happened afterwards. Xia Chuanzi's figure is actually not big, it looks like she has just been born, and there are some nutrients that cannot keep up. The dogs quickly surrounded the pandas and let out threatening growls. I quickly went over to signal the dogs to calm down. Hello, little panda, do you live here? I can actually understand what you're saying. This is my home, why are you here? The little girl looked angry. I quickly apologized and then took out a few carrots to feed to Xia Chuanzi. We just want to come here and dig some bamboo shoots, there's no malice. Xia Chuanzi is still simple. After seeing what I fed it, it immediately started eating, and at first glance, it was hungry for a long time. I put the dug spring bamboo shoots into the little dog's basket, and when I turned my head, I saw the little ball drooling and looking at the pile of bamboo shoots. Do you want to eat? I pushed aside the bamboo shoots and handed them to Xia Chuanzi. How about bringing some back for your mother? The little panda is here, so its mother should also be nearby. My mother doesn't want me anymore, the little panda began to cry out in frustration. She left with my sister. If an adult giant panda gives birth to twins, it will discard the weaker one. Obviously, this little panda is relatively lucky and should have grown under the protection of its mother for a period of time before being abandoned. Looking at this poor little bun, I decided to take it back and say, "Do you want to come home with me? Sister, there's a lot of delicious food at home, you won't be hungry anymore." As soon as the little panda heard what it had eaten, it immediately agreed. After all, it had been hungry for several days before meeting me. Its teeth are very tender, and now it's not the season for bamboo shoots to grow. It can't bite the bamboo and can only rely on eating some wild fruits for its stomach. I took out some wild apples I picked on the road and handed them to them. "This one is edible." The thief who was eating next to me was happy. It hadn't eaten enough for a long time. Great, netizens are exploding again. "Oh, no, she wants to raise pandas. She's not afraid to take the panda cubs away. Does the panda slowly trouble her? Is it really fake?" The anchor is so fierce at Animal Management Bureau. I explained the reason to the netizens in the live broadcast room. They learned that if they put the red panda here, it may starve to death or be preyed upon by other wild animals. Although they agreed, their hearts have always been sour. I casually hung up a small yellow car in the live broadcast room, which only had 30 copies inside, so as not to have to deal with them later when I go back. Netizens didn't expect my Xiaohuang car to be hanging so casually. Some were shocked to see the price, only 18 yuan, so cheap. Excluding the shipping fee of 12 yuan, 1 kilogram of winter bamboo shoots is only 6 yuan. After the person with fast hands snatched it, they posted pictures everywhere to show off. Some tycoons even want to spend a lot of money to buy it. He's also greedy. This time, we will send out so many first. After the goods arrive and we try them out, we can proceed with the next batch. Selling the goods, I easily turned off the live broadcast and then went down the mountain. I, who was originally going up the mountain to shoot bamboo shoots, inexplicably brought back a little panda. 1. Panda Storm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After returning home, I saw several private messages from my live streaming backend, which left me confused. Not really. Did the Animal Management Bureau come to me? Can't giant pandas really be kept? I quickly sent a private message back and attached my phone number. In less than 3 minutes, I received a call. "Hello, we are from the Animal Management Bureau. May I ask if you have found a wild giant panda?" A very anxious inquiry came from across. "Yes, what's wrong? Can you tell us your address? We'll be there soon." The voice across from us became visibly excited. After saying the address, the person across from me immediately hung up the phone. "Oh, no, it's hanging so fast." After feeding my dog, I started watching TV dramas with my little bun in my arms. The dogs sat next to me, chatting with each other. "What is a bad person?" Little Tuanzi asked innocently. "Bad people are people who do bad things. They rob and harm small animals, doing anything. When you encounter such people, you should run away." Duo earnestly taught the little group. "Why is this person so foolish? When encountering bad people, they don't run away," Spotted asked in confusion. "That's right, this dog also saw the bad guy charging up directly, so it's not afraid that the bad guy would stab it." Bai Shui looked shocked. "If it were me, I would just be a 360-degree spiral ladder," Wang Bo said proudly. "Why doesn't it bite its neck?" The Black Panther and Rhubarb looked at me. "If that's the case, wouldn't that bad guy just collapse?" I looked at their shocked and confused expressions, and I felt that I needed to teach them some ways to handle things. "If you encounter bad people on the street, will you help like this dog?" Wang Bo and the dogs shook their heads together. "Do you want people to recognize you, like you, and not drive you away in the future?" All the animals nodded their heads. "Starting from the initial training, I will teach you some instructions today. Sit, stand, shake hands, turn left, turn right. Perhaps it was because I could communicate with animals, and soon they all learned. Then I had the little animals form a circle with me and teach them how to be a good little dog. What would happen if you encountered a stranger who wanted to touch you? Black Panther. I might bite him. Wong Boer. Grab his face. I quickly stopped and said, if a stranger wants to touch you, you must not bite him. This is the most wrong way. The best way is for you to stay away from him. You must pay attention to controlling your emotions and remember not to shout at strangers. It's best to avoid people you don't like when you know them. The dogs all nodded. So where did you meet the bad guys? What are you going to do? Duo said, let's just run away. If they run away, what if the bad guys have children or other people in their hands? Rhubarb. You can't run away, let's just rush up and bite him. I shook my head and said, no, at this point you need to calm down first. Think about it, if you go up and bite him directly. What if he gets stressed? When he picks up a knife and chops at you, won't you get hurt? All the dogs lowered their heads. Wong Boer said, then let's go around and rush out to catch his eyes. He can't see us, so he can't see us. You definitely have to go backwards, but you can't blind him. I'll ask you to pay for the medical expenses then. You can do this. Wong Boer grabs the knife from behind diagonally, while Black Panther and Rhubarb bite his pants legs, causing him to lose balance. Duo and Spotted, each of you bite the cuff of one hand and pull it apart in a large shape. Wong Boer takes the opportunity to seek help by Shua looked dejected and said, what about me? Is it too small and useless? I touched its head and said, how could that be? You're so effective. You're responsible for attracting his attention and barking in front of him. When he's under control, you're responsible for comforting the person who was robbed. Your role is not small at all. Bai Shua looked proud and coquettish, realizing that she was also useful. Then I prepared to rehearse, with Xia Chuanzi as my hostage. After putting on thick gloves and clothes, I said, come on. Each dog remembered its task and dispersed directly. White Snow roared vigorously in front of me, and Wong Boer suddenly rushed out from behind to snatch the knife from my hand. Seizing the right moment, Da Huang and Black Panther pulled my pants forward, instantly causing me to lose balance. Then, they grabbed my sleeve more and more with Spot, making me separate into big characters. Alright, stop biting. I can't get up, all the dogs were ordered to put me down. Not bad, your cooperation is excellent. But there are still some small issues. When pulling me, it's better to pull in both left and right directions instead of upward. But remember, before rushing out, you can disperse yourself in the crowd, so that bad people can't see you, to an unexpected effect. I nodded satisfactorily and added a jar to each of them. By the way, I bought several alarms online that can be hung around the necks of cats and dogs, and they can speak with just a press. I eagerly placed an order with them, but I didn't know that a bunch of strangers saw it during our training. Hello, I'm from the State Administration of China. My name is Lu Goen, and I'm here to see the red panda. I looked at the man in front of me with a shocked expression. When did he come? He didn't just see it all, did he? I had no choice but to pretend to be calm and show them the little pandas. Leader, it's really a little panda. I actually saw a live one, said the young girl next to her, wanting to go and hug the little panda. The little panda just showed its teeth and ran up to me. I picked it up and said, come on in, it's a bit afraid of strangers. Lu Goen gave a warning glance at the girl and followed me inside, but he didn't see the darkness in her eyes. I took out some wild fruits I had picked on the mountain before to entertain them. My house may be a bit rough, don't mind, just sit around casually. Lu Goen looked at the little panda in my arms and said, can I touch it? Sure. I looked at the little panda in my arms and told it, this uncle wants to touch you, go ahead. Lu Goen looked at me chatting with the little panda and was shocked. Can humans really understand the language of animals? I looked at him and said, I believe Director Lu already knew I was a pet communicator before he came, and I can indeed communicate with them. Director Lu touched the little panda and confirmed that there were no issues with it. Before I came this time, I wanted to take the little panda back, but suddenly I thought it might be better to keep it with you. I would like to ask for your help to take care of it, he said. Director Lu, it's not allowed. Does it know how to raise pandas? What if it dies when the time comes? The girl who was just scolded just came in and was furious. I didn't say a word. Director Lu said, Xiao Su, how did you talk? Can you give it to you? Can you take care of it better? When did I need your consent to do something? After the girl was scolded, she didn't say a word. Comrade Xiao, don't mind. The red panda is still being kept by you, but we may need to check its condition every month, and we will send you the food expenses on the first day of each month. Director Lu smiled. 2. Continue training. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After seeing Director Lu off, I wrapped the winter bamboo shoots, thanks to our door-to-door pickup service here, otherwise I would be extremely busy. After contacting the staff at the courier station, I took my dog to the living room to watch some videos about dogs unifying kidnappers and some videos about dogs fighting against drugs. In all the videos, not all dogs are safe, some have been seriously injured by kidnappers and died on the spot. Dog strength is limited, and you may face life-threatening situations when fighting kidnappers. Would you still be willing to do so? All the dogs looked lost in thought. If becoming a hero means that I can have no worries about food and clothing in the future, I am willing, Huang agreed first. As soon as Spotted and Black Panther saw Big Brother agree, they immediately said, we need to be with Big Brother. Can I think about it? Duo was a bit reluctant because in its perception, it should run away when encountering danger. I'm afraid. Bai Shui is a small dog, and for it, a kick from the kidnappers could potentially cause serious injury. I comforted and said, if you really don't want to, it's okay. It's okay. I was about to give up when Duo and Bai Shui seemed to think of something and became firm. I am willing to do it, and I hope there will be fewer bad people. Although I am just a little dog, I also want to do my best. They said I held them, but before that, I was not sure how much they would ultimately be willing, because they had been tormented by humans before, and I always thought they were unwilling to give any more for humanity. I didn't expect it to be my narrow-mindedness. Wang Boer fell silent. Why are there only police dogs and no police cats? I looked at it with bright eyes and said, perhaps due to its size, focus, and coordination. Do you want to become the first police cat? I want to. A civet cat walked in with a 3-flower outside the door. I don't want to wander anymore. I want my wife and children to have enough to eat. Little sister, we're here to join you. Sanhua called out gently. Hua and Huyi, you're here. I quickly introduced their identities and fed them some jars. I want to be the first police cat, and I don't want to be called and beaten every day, said Huyi as he watched Hua eat. To make society truly accept police cats, you need to put in several times more effort than police dogs. I looked at Tiger Lord. Can you? Sure. Tiger Master looked resolute. A weak voice came from beside. I can do it too. I don't know when, but Wang Boer was so scared that she hid behind me and laughed to death. Cats are small in size, have little strength, and have flexibility that dogs cannot match. They can shuttle through various corners and are suitable for covert combat. Dogs have a larger body, greater strength, and stronger aggression, and can attack head-on. After disbanding the animals, I found Sanhua and said, I just heard Tiger Lord say, are you pregnant? Sanhua is a bit shy, but very happy. Yes, she said. I got excited, but who doesn't like the cute and loving little kitten? Then Sanhua and Hai saw me smirk there, extremely lewd. Tiger Lord gave me a domineering look and said, "This is my wife. She wants to have a child on her own." I pouted and said, "I'm your master now. How could you be so cruel to me? I just came out of home and saw Duo sitting outside." Duo, what's wrong? Don't you want to participate?" "No, I miss my master so much. I want to go home. I'm afraid that if I participate and die, my master won't be able to see me anymore. But I can't bear to part with my brothers. I'm afraid they'll be even more dangerous without me," said Duo, sobbing. I hugged Duo and said, "I'm already helping you find your master, and I'll find it soon. If you really don't want to participate, it's okay. I won't force you. I want to participate. As long as I still have one day left before I go home, I will strive for a day." Duo looked up at me with determination in his eyes.